Now, how do you start today? Again, write down your thoughts and plans. Something that I also want to point out that a lot of successful people do, and I have to tell you, I do it too, and my clients know this, and I get my clients to do this, is I write down an awful lot of things. And usually on my travels, I have while I have an expensive laptop and everything else, I keep a little book, a little notebook that I think might cost me $1 at Staples. I keep a little notebook. It's a little one, maybe 4 by 6, that I throw into my bag, and I keep my thoughts on there. Any thoughts that I may have. Some of these shows come out of a couple of lines in a notebook that I might have scribbled, and I keep these notebooks. And after I'm done using these notebooks, I throw them into a box. I date them. I throw them into a box. And some of the things that I've built a notoriety for, some of the things I've written, like Dare to Be or Why Not You, and the 5 Truths. When I grab, I sometimes think it's fun to grab an old notebook and read it, maybe from a couple of years ago, a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago. And I'll read these notebooks, and I could see some of, I could look back and I could see where I was developing the ideas for the 5 Truths. And I could see where I was developing the ideas for some of these shows that I'd end up doing years later. I mean, it's very interesting to see, and there are a lot of people who do this. Some of the one of the things you'll notice even about, I forget his name, the guy who owns Virgin. He's a billionaire. Branson, I think his name is. Well, if you notice, this guy's got billions of dollars, and if you notice, you ever see him out in public, or you ever catch him on the news or anything, again, he's got this little $1 or $2 notebook that he carries around, and he writes it all down. And again, I do it. I know that a lot of CEOs do it. A lot of very successful business people do this because it's a great way to, first of all, get your thoughts out of the thought realm and into our physical universe. So it's a great way to keep the ideas. And secondly, how many things happen to you in a day that you forget what you were thinking? So I might be on a train, I might be in a car, I might be on a plane, and I'm hit with, you get that old light bulb, right? I'm hit with some idea, and I'm like, oh, this is a great idea. I could, do this, I could do this, I could do that. But then I get off the plane, and I'm greeted by whoever it is I'm going to see, and they take me here, and I meet these people and those people, and I have to remember this guy's name and that guy's name and this lady's name and that. So I have to remember this, and then I got to give a speech. And by that time, I've already forgotten whatever I was thinking about on the plane. Fortunately, though, I grab my little notebook and I can see, and it clicks right back in. I mean, it's come in handy so many times. I strongly suggest you do that. You know why? Because when you write down your ideas, when you write down your thoughts, your plans, you get an outline of your inner thoughts. You get an inventory that you would otherwise ignore. So you're able to wrestle with any ideas that are either helpful or hurtful, and you're able to expand on ideas that'll get you to where you're going. So my suggestion to you, you write down your thoughts and plans on a little notebook or a big notebook, whatever you want. Don't make it elaborate. If you're making it, oh, I'm doing it on my laptop, I'm telling you it doesn't work. You need something you can whip out and write on right away, not something you have to open and unlock and click on Microsoft Word and do. It's not going to work. It's not the same, I promise you. Have a little pen and a notebook with you, and make it a little notebook, because the big ones kind of become cumbersome. It's not as many places you can put it in. You need something you could throw in your bag, throw in your pocketbook, or anything, or his purse. Did I just outdate myself by saying pocketbook? Am I back in the 80s? Well, anyways, you know what I'm talking about. So you can keep track of your ideas. Successful people do this. And another idea that I have is that you check out, I'm sure I did a show on it. It's called The 4 Pillars of Success. Again, through coaching people, being the personal coach of professional athletes, being a personal coach of a lot of corporate CEOs, being a personal coach of a lot of extremely successful entrepreneurs, and being my own personal coach, I've come up with the 4 Pillars of Success. It works 100% of the time. I don't have time to really talk to you about it right now, but the 4 pillars that every success is built on, without exception, is intent, vision, action, and clarity. Check out empoweredlivingradio.com for the archive on that show. I think I did an hour-long show on the 4 pillars of success. So again, let me wrap this up. I only have a few minutes left with being wealth fit. Just like you'd want to enter a marathon, you want to be well trained, you want to be physically fit, you want to be mentally and emotionally ready to handle this, and it's the only way you can succeed. It's the same thing with being wealth fit. You have to consider your plan. You have to stay dedicated and committed to your words, to your actions, and you have to be true. You have to be true to yourself. Talking about wealth, know what wealth means. What will you do when you get it? Just like you have a bunch of contingency plans of what you're going to do when if you can't pay this bill, I said I could throw it on this credit card, or if the electric bill comes, I could throw it on here. You have a million contingency plans for your failures, but you very rarely have plans for your success. So remember, what will you do when you get the money? How will you make it grow? How savvy are you about wealth? What will you do to keep this income flowing? Have a plan. Have a plan for your success. And remember to always ask yourself honest questions. For instance, how much time do you spend dedicated to your success? Not just dreaming about it, not talking about it, not just complaining about it, but how much time do you actually stay dedicated and committed to your own achievements? And at first look, you're going to be shocked that you really don't spend any time dedicated to going in any other direction. You spend a whole lot of time complaining about the condition you're in now. You spend a whole lot of time complaining about your paycheck now, but you spend zero time actually dedicated to doing something about it. So take that into consideration. Don't get frustrated. Know that just like you can't be fit to run a marathon tomorrow, you're not going to be fit to be wealthy tomorrow, but that's okay, because if you start the steps today, you will definitely get there. It has no choice. You will definitely become wealth fit, and along the journey, you're going to be able to create the very vehicle, the very business, the very mindset that is going to take you to where you need to go.